world has gone to shit. One man has set out to protect millions of innocent moviegoers from being subjected to mindless garbage thrown at them by evil movie executives. Whether it be a copious amount of superhero movies, waves of PG-13 family action movies about kids with powers, or anything with Kevin James in it, he took them all on and warned the common man about the dangers of becoming this guy. And instead, for them to become this guy. The following are actual accounts of his heroic deeds. His name was Dustin.
Hello everybody out there in internet land. My name is Dustin, and this is my new web show called His Name Was Dustin. In this show, I'm going to be reviewing new movies. Most of them are shitty. Every once in a while, I plan on doing maybe a good one as a little treat. A little bit of background: I work at a movie theater, so I see a lot of movies. And a lot of times I'll be at work and I'll see a trailer or a poster for this movie that looks just fucking god-awful, and I'll say, man, that movie looks super fucking shitty, and one of my coworkers will, say, no, that looks good, it looks funny because, this, and then I'll spend 15 minutes scolding them, telling them why that movie is going to be garbage, and typically at the end of it, they kind of say, I think you're right, that was super informative, and I'm really glad you told me that because I would have wasted my time watching that movie. But could you please put your pants back on? Or, maybe they'll say something like, I've heard about your candy van, no thanks. With all that being said, the natural step seemed to be for me to make my own review show on the internet because I just kind of wanted to do it. So, yeah, that's the kind of background, and we'll just kind of get straight into this first review, which is The Zookeeper starring Kevin James. And normally I want to do a movie like this because it's been out for 3 or 4 weeks at this point, but this movie was so fucking terrible that I could not pass it up considering, the format of this web series thing. So, let's get straight into it. Alright, so Kevin James in The Zookeeper. I'll give you a quick rundown of the movie, not anything too detailed. He's a zookeeper. It's the whole classic, going after the woman story, which is very classic and actually a good story. He's just kind of a level loser. Not too bad. So you're probably saying well, how is this movie that bad? Kevin James is, he's kind of funny, even though most of his movies suck. It's a timeless story. It should be pretty good. Well, there's talking animals in this movie, and not the good kind. It's the super fucking exploitive kind. The whole pop culture laden ones where they sing rap songs, and it's just fucking awful. Honestly, anyways, back to the actual story. He's going after the woman, played by Leslie Bibb, his ex-girlfriend, and she comes back into his life, and he's going after her, and to kind of sum it up, he realizes he can't get her until he becomes a giant asshole. So he becomes a giant asshole and gets her. But meanwhile, this whole time, one of his coworkers, played by Rosario Dawson, is showing some interest in him, and he just is kind of blind to the whole thing. Obviously, what happens at the end is he comes to back to reality and realizes that the woman he's been after the whole time is a giant cunt, and he needs to go after Rosario Dawson's character, who's nice and has all the qualities that you really should look for. And she's actually hotter than Leslie Bibb anyway, so I don't know. I understand. It was part of the plot mechanism. Anyways, that's the general thing of this movie. Normally, I'd probably spend some more time on the actual plot of a movie. This one is fucking stupid, and what this movie really deserves to be reviewed is the specific scenes and the message it sends. And I'm going to cut straight into the specific scenes right now. So the specific scenes and jokes of this movie, they're really bad. So the first one was, there's a part where he's talking to Leslie Bibb, the woman he's trying to get the whole movie, and he's holding Porcupine, and obviously at the worst possible time, the Porcupine shoots a quill in his face, and it's just fucking horrible. And it's just, this is the kind of joke that the movie relies on. The next one was actually the one that makes me the most upset. The animals set up this little fake attack on Leslie Bibb's character, and Kevin James is supposed to rescue her, and this happens 15 minutes into the movie, and like it's just such a wasted scene because obviously he's not going to save the day 15 minutes into the movie. It's just an excuse to show him like trying to jump over this fake gorge and just like crashing into the wall and hurting himself. It's so horrible. Like good slapstick is awesome, but bad slapstick is fucking horrible, and Kevin James just sucks at it. So obviously the audience eats it up and laughs. It's just, I don't know, it's just awful. The next one that really bothered me was it's just kind of something small, but the animals would always have these meetings, and they would have it in the middle of the zoo, and there's like apparently there's no video cameras at the zoo, to like no security footage. Like, I don't get it. What's to stop a pervert from going in and fucking the animals in the middle of the night, like, if they don't have video cameras? So it's just something that was kind of stupid. It's just something kind of small, but it's just another thing that adds up in the movie, just, to it sucking. And the next thing is the whole wedding party goes on this group bike ride, and Kevin James gets there late, and he goes around a bike, and all they have left is a giant tricycle. Who would have thought it? Super funny, right? I didn't think so either. It was just awful, and like they did this whole scene where he's just racing and stuff, and it's just horrible stuff. And then like they have a scene at the wedding, his brother's wedding, where he's swinging on these like rope things that these professional dancers were on before. And he just, like, takes everything out. And it's just, like, all super exploitive. It's not even funny or good at all. It's, like, so poorly executed, and it just bothers me. And it's, like, all these scenes kind of stack up and add up to this movie sucking balls horribly. And those are kind of, like, the scenes. These are the scenes that the movie relies on, and then they're just all bad. Like, not one of them was funny. They're just all awful. So it just goes for a shitty movie. The next thing I want to talk about is the message, the couple messages that this movie sends and why they're horrible. So let's get to that. The first message that this movie sends, it's the worst. It's Kevin James, he gets both women at different times in the movie, and the way he gets the first one, the one he wants for the majority of the movie, is he just has to become a giant asshole. And that's like such a horrible message to send to people, especially since it's a family film, little kids are watching this. I mean, not many people are going to take something from a movie, take it to heart and live their life by it, but some people might, or some people might use it. And it's just awful, like, and it's such a stupid cliche, but it's kind of true because women are idiots, but that's a whole other thing. But it's just bad. It's just horrible. And then what's even worse is he realizes the error of his ways, and, like, even though he just treated people like shit for, like, in the movie it must have been, like, a week or two, like, all of a sudden he gets a pass, and just because he goes back to being nice and he gets the awesome girl, that's, like, an even worse message to send, and this movie is just fucking horrible for that. The next one, I'll kind of elaborate on this one a little bit later, but it sends a message that peeing on animals is really good and it's okay. Like I said, I'll elaborate in a minute. Another message, which is maybe even worse than the first one, is this movie sends a message that Kevin James and Adam Sandler will make any fucking movie, and a lot of people will pay money to see it. And this is actually the worst message. Like, they haven't ever done anything good. Adam Sandler did 2 good movies in the 90s, and since then nothing. And Kevin James has never done anything good. Like, it's awful shit. So those are the messages of the movie. So the jokes are bad, the messages are bad, the story's like rehash. It's just an awful movie. Don't see it. Now, the review's almost over. All the review's pretty much over. I just want to move to the next segment, and this is where I'm going to give you some facts from the movie where I took some notes during the movie, and these are some little facts that usually go into a shitty movie, and we'll see how many times certain elements of a shitty movie popped up in this particular movie. So let's go ahead and head on to the stats of this movie. The first thing is called Biggest Laughs, and this is what the audience laughed at it the most. The first thing was when the monkey was licking his armpit. That was a big laugh getter in this movie. Also, there's a scene where one of the bears is telling him to show his pudding cup, referring to his fat stomach. Really? I mean, come on. The next one. This is the one I was referring to earlier, where he pees on the wolf. The wolf tells him to mark his territory, and one of the other zookeepers comes up while Kevin James is peeing on a tree, and then he makes the excuse like, "Oh, I was like, peeing on this wound so it wouldn't get infected." And then so the other zookeeper's like, "Oh, that's a good idea. You should pee on him some more." And then the audience was just fucking busting up, and like, it's just so stupid. Another one was the monkey and the giraffe both rapping to popular rap songs. It's just, come on. I would say you're better than that, but obviously you're not. And like I mentioned before, the whole taking out the bride scene, like, I mean, it's not. Women really look forward to their wedding, and just this bride getting completely demolished by Kevin James swinging around. And it's not. It's kind of cruel to laugh at. It's kind of funny too, I guess, but it's just these are the parts of the movie that got the biggest laughs. This movie was actually surprisingly short on product placement. The only ones I noticed were Icy brand Ices and Dole Juice. Those are the ones I caught. There may have been more, but not many more. There was, I counted 10. This is kind of small. I thought this would be a lot higher too. 10 instances of bad examples of slapstick. I thought that would be a lot higher. Stolen jokes. This movie had 2. It stole the mariachi joke, mariachi band playing at the wrong and awkward time joke from the Ben Stiller movie where he marries the crazy lady. I can't remember what it's called. And then it just straight up stole one from the other Happy Madison movies, the Grown Ups, where he's like, "Oh, is this a tire on a tree or is it a gateway to adventure?" It's a horrible joke the first time. Why are you rehashing it? I kind of understand that's what you do, but yeah, that's pretty much all for this movie. If you just take anything from this movie is garbage and you should not watch it. So, anyways, thanks for watching my video. Let me know what you think. If I suck, let me have it. If not, let me know too. All right, guys, thanks for watching.